It's your boy Boost, and y'all keep it locked in. You got me on the 3-point conversion radio. Let's go.
It's your man, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? We're here live on Radio Row, Super Bowl 58, Las Vegas, and we got my guy all the way to the right, Mace. Yo, what up, Mace?
Man, we talking fashion today. We talking fashion. This is an ATL interview right here, so y'all gonna love this.
And then it's like you said, ATL interview. We got Mr. Swaggy. I mean, my bad, Bradley Pinion.
The swaggiest punter in the NFL.
The Swaggy, Mr. Swag. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How y'all doing? Y'all good?
I'm good, man. And he's here representing American Cancer Society. And if you can, just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so American Cancer Society and their partnership with Crucial Catch in the NFL really supports early detection of cancer, right? So the earlier you detect it, the more likely you can beat it.
Right.
Cancer is something that's near and dear to my family's heart. My wife's mom passed away from cancer and her grandma. And then I had a best friend growing up whose mom was lucky enough to beat breast cancer. So it's something that anytime I can get out and talk about it and support it and talk about early detection and how important it is and what the American Cancer Society and the NFL are doing and going into these rural areas and empowering them with early detection abilities and pouring money into these places that don't have those resources. It's just super cool, and it's every time like I said, anytime I can go out and talk about it and talk about, hey, go out and get screened as much as you can, no matter what type of cancer screening it is, just go do it. It's super important. It can save your life if you catch it early enough.
And it's crazy because you talk about my cleats, my cause. Mm-hmm. To me, it seems like that needs to be extended more than just a month because you guys have such a platform and you're always in the media's eye. I mean,
yeah.
Why should we just restrict it to 1 month?
Yeah, why can't we just wear them all year?
Right.
I mean, it's cool for the guys because we enjoy designing the cleats and working with different artists. It empowers the artists. It gives money to these artists that are maybe struggling that are designing cleats. And,
right.
It really allows us to show our passions. I mean, I could put 15 different causes for every week of the year.
Exactly.
And then auction off those cleats, sign them, auction them off, and raise money for that cause. So I'd be a huge fan of that. Hey, let me do a different pair of cleats every week and raise as much awareness for great causes like the American Cancer Society.
So we were joking about the swag. We really weren't joking, but we talked about it. It's not too many punters. You got punters that stand out, but as far as the swag like you have, man, tell me where you get that from, who inspired you, and just what makes you like, yo, I'm going to just do it like this.
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough really early in my career to play with two of the greatest kickers to ever do it, Phil Dawson and Robbie Gould.
Robbie, shout out to Rob.
Yeah, so I was really fortunate to play with them. I got my pants link, we were talking about it a second ago, from Phil Dawson, the way he hems them and everything. I stole that from him. And then Robbie was a big sleeve guy, and I really liked the way the sleeves look. And when I was in San Francisco, it was always kind of chilly. It was never hot.
Right.
And so I got used to wearing the sleeves, and then went to play in Tampa, and I was like, I really don't want to get sunburnt every game, so I'm going to keep the sleeves on. And then now in Atlanta, the dome's actually kind of cold sometimes. So we kept the sleeves on there. So the sleeves just came like a staple to me. I feel weird like punting without sleeves on now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right.
Right.
And then other than that, man, I'm just really simple. Really simple. Get the jersey a little tailored so it's not baggy and it's not too tight, and just go out there and try to perform my best. I'm a big believer, as like Dion says, you look good, you play good.
Feel good, play good.
Yeah, and then they pay good.
So then they pay good.
And then you just got to keep on rolling on that train.
One of the battles in Atlanta, black helmet versus red helmet.
Yeah.
I think the red helmets are super dope. What are you guys' thoughts on the red
Everybody loves the red helmet. If you asked every single player on our roster if we could wear the red helmet every week, we would. We 100% would. It's so sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely just this shine on. It's gorgeous.
Right.
I mean, it's just in the throwback too, back to when
the
Michael Vick era and everything on those lines. I mean, man, you can't beat it. And then we did that hip hop game this year.
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah.
I mean, it was just, the atmosphere was wild. Ludacris dropping down from the ceiling,
Yeah,
T.I. walking us out. Man,
Yeah.
we were hyped before the game ever started. Man, it was wild. It was awesome.
So I have to ask you this, man. I'm old school. I remember, say you punting from the 50, you're trying to pin them back. Why don't punters kick the ball, angle the ball towards
the coffin corner?
Yeah, like in the corner, like 1 and 2, like.
So I do still.
Okay.
I'm still a little old school. I mean, I'm old now. This is going into year 10. I'm old.
Right.
But I still do some. I think I had probably 3 or 4 out of bounds inside the 5 this year. But there's the new style of punting, the Australian people who came over with
That little running start.
Yeah, and with the end over end. Don't worry, I hate it too.
Yeah.
With the end over end punts, and a lot of times those punts will hit and bounce backwards.
Right.
And so that's what you're seeing a lot more of nowadays is that end over end punt. But I'm a huge fan of the coffin corner. My grandpa actually punted in the NFL way long time ago for Dallas Cowboys, and he taught me that coffin corner, and it's a lost art nowadays, in my opinion, and it's something that when you're in, we call it the gray area, right? So usually you hit that end over end ball around the 50-yard line, 45-yard line, but then you have to just pass the 45-yard line where it's like, hey, the end over end ball only travels really 45 yards, and so I'm really not hitting it far enough to pin him deep. Let me pull out this ball where I can coffin corner, and really try to pin him inside the 5 like we do on the other ones, and that's where I still use it, and that's where I enjoy using it, and I mean, did it a few times this year and it worked out, and I mean it's probably my favorite punt, honestly, because you're not hitting it as high as normal. You're really just, I call it hitting a piss missile. You hit a piss missile out of bounds, and I mean it really changes the game.
Now it's crazy. I used to be a former high school coach.
Yeah.
And what I would always stress upon kids who were second string, third string, I'm like, learn how to kick.
Yeah.
Learn how to kick. You can play forever.
Yeah. As long as your body holds up, you can keep on playing. As long as you're halfway good, and as long as your body holds up.
Just talk to the kids and let them know it's okay to kick.
Absolutely. There's got to be a kicker and a punter on every team.
Right.
And we get paid pretty darn good to just kick a football, and I don't have to take the beating that the offensive line or the wide receivers or the running backs or the linebackers.
Stop making sense.
Take. I mean, if you get in the NFL locker room, every single player in the NFL locker room wants to be the kicker or the punter.
Oh, wow.
Strictly because when they're sitting there banging their heads against each other in practice, I'm sitting there watching them do it.
And do you get tired of what you're a punter, so you don't get it as much, but the place kickers, I hate this. If they miss a field goal, you had one job. I hate when they say that. Does that get on y'all nerves?
Yeah, it does. Because a lot of times, like we have one of the best ones in the NFL in Koo. So a lot of times if he admits, it's usually my fault. If I'm being straight up honest with you, I've either missed a spot or got his lean a little wrong.
That's right, because you're the holder.
Yeah, I'm the holder.
Listen, I held in high school and college. The hold is important.
It's really important.
It's important.
It's really important. So when you have a good one like Koo, as long as I can put the ball down somewhat right, he's going to make it.
Right.
So when people are like, oh, you only had one job, well, okay, well, you come out here and do this job.
Exactly.
People don't understand holding is an art.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do it. First of all, you got to have great hands.
Yeah.
To be done, because you don't. That snap is not coming straight to you all the time.
I tell Drake London, I told Mike Evans when I was with him, I have more catches than you every year.
Easy.
Right.
I tell him every time I'm with him. Every time. I got to catch the ball. I got to catch the ball every time I punt it, and I got to catch the ball every field goal.
Put it and spin it.
Yeah, because
you got to turn because he can't kick the laces.
I can't just catch and tuck. You can tuck the ball however. I wish I could catch and tuck. No, I got to catch it, spin it, do all the fun stuff with it.
People laughed at me all the time when I say, everybody listen, the hold is important.
Yeah.
That's the most important part of the kick is the hold.
Yep.
My guy, see, we got confirmation now.
Absolutely. And if the snap isn't good, it makes my job even worse.
Because sometimes you have to go up,
and then I still got to get the hold right.
And I got to put it back down. I can't just yell fire.
No, can't. I mean, I could. It wouldn't go very well. I wouldn't get very far. I could. But
a lot of times it's too late when you yell fire.
100%.
It's too late.
Yep, 100%.
So when it comes down to making the tackle, are you that guy that I'm going to make the tackle? Are you like, all right, I'm going to trip him up, but I'm not about to sacrifice my body?
Both. Depends on the situation.
Right.
If I'm running up against like a Cordell Patterson, right? I had to try to tackle him one time. Made a little bit of an executive decision. I'm gonna try to trip him. But you got some of these smaller returners where I'll go in for the hit. But I mean, you got some of those big guys like Cordell and whatnot. And he got a full head of steam, and I'm standing there. And he gets to run right over me.
But I will say this about you, and you did it a couple of times this season. You're probably one of the few punters that understand angles.
Yeah.
As far as like you kind of see a guy catching out, you're not going to where he going. You kind of getting ahead of him.
Oh yeah.
So I can either.
I'm only doing that because I'm slow though. That's the only reason I'm doing that.
But it looks good. I'm telling you, it looks good because it's like he was taught pursuit drill.
Yeah.
He going to the spot, not where he is. He going to where he's trying to go.
Well, the returner is usually one of the fastest people on the team. And the punter is usually one of the slowest people on the team. So it just mathematically it makes sense that if I'm trying to keep him from going to this point, I'm not going to try to go here. I'm going to go a little further down the field and try to get him there.
Because you're not trying – it's not necessarily trying to tackle him. It's trying to make him either he's going to go out of bounds, or if he cuts back,
I just want him to stop his feet.
You got somebody else right there to make that
so
tackle.
make it to the pursuit.
Yeah.
You
You're
can
right.
get it.
I just want him to stop his feet because if he stop his feet, here come everybody else now.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Absolutely.
Then I always wondered this. When we were little, we always wanted to punt the ball. But what made it to the point where you were like, I'm going to be a punter?
So crazy story. Played soccer growing up since I was like 4 years old. Was pretty good at soccer. And like I said earlier, my grandpa punted. And my grandpa kept telling me, hey, you need to learn how to punt a football. You need to learn how to kick a football. And I'm like, yeah, grandpa, whatever. And then one year for Christmas, about 7th grade, I got a football for Christmas. And we lived right across from the high school growing up. And so me and my dad went over to the high school field. And we're throwing it around here. So I was like, hey, Dad, I want to kick it. My dad put it on his foot, and I kicked a 35-yard field goal. First time I ever kicked a ball straight down the middle. And my dad was like, hang on, do that again. So he did it again, put it on his foot, kicked it straight down the middle again. He said, hold up, I'm going to get you some help. My dad noticed, like, right then and there that I had this talent.
Right.
And I used to hate punting. I'm going to be honest with you. I used to hate it. I wanted to be a field goal kicker, but my body size is just too big to be a field goal kicker. So my dad used to force me, like, hey, you're going to punt because you're the typical body type for a punter.
I love it.
And then I fell in love with punting. My grandpa helped me a lot. I have an amazing coach who I still use. I've used him since middle school, named Dan Orner. He coaches probably 10 of us NFL guys, kicker, punters. He's based out of Charlotte, and we just went to work and started getting offers for colleges, full rides, and was like, hey, like, man, I might have a shot at going pro for this, and really just devoted my life to it. Didn't do some of the things that like some of my friends were doing when they were going out and doing different things. I'd have to go to a kicking camp, or I'd have a lesson or something, and was like, hey, I'll put in the work now so that down the road, if I want to go to a Super Bowl in Las Vegas, I can go to a Super Bowl.
I can kick it forever.
So, and it's really set my family up really nice. Like I said earlier, I'm going into year 10. I don't know. I'll play until the good Lord tells me I can't play anymore. And we'll just keep. Nobody else is going to pay me like this. Nobody else is going to. So I'm just going to keep full. Tell everybody I'm just going to keep fooling them year by year and keep trying to do it. Keep supporting good causes. I think that's another thing too. I'm a big man of faith, and I believe the good Lord puts people that will support his causes and support things that he's passionate about in roles that has a platform. And I firmly believe God gave me this platform to do that. So that's why I've partnered with American Cancer Society and Crucial Catch, and that's why I do so many things off the field. That's like the Man of Year nominees that I've gotten and things along those lines. That's why I do it. Football is just something I'm happen to be halfway decent at. But the real reason I enjoy this job is to be able to go out in the community, give back to the Atlanta community, give back to the community where I'm from in Concord, North Carolina, give back to the community I live now in South Carolina and Greenville, and just be able to raise awareness for causes that really deserve the awareness.
I love it.
All right, man, we have to let him go. One last question. Who was the punter you looked up to? Of course, I know you say your grandfather, but who was the punter that you always admired?
So growing up, I always watched Thomas Morstead. We have a similar body frame, build. He kicked off also. So I watched him a lot growing up, and I would say he's probably the best punter of all time. Just the level he's done it at for as long as he's done it at. And he's never gotten the accolades because he's more of the directional guy, which I like to consider myself more of a directional guy. Instead of you got some of these young guys that are just banging the ball now.
You just want to boom it.
And
Touchback.
Yeah. And so I say Thomas Morstead, I've really tried to implement some of the stuff that he does. I mean, everybody kicks differently, but what he does with how he paints the sidelines and really can take over a game. I mean, you saw it with the Jets this year. I think he put like 5 inside the 5. And so like you see what he can do. It's still at I would say an old age. Sorry, Thomas, I'm not calling you old, but at an older age, you see what he's still doing, and that's why I do firmly believe he's one of the best to ever do it.
Love it.
All right, man, we have to wrap it up, but hey, make sure y'all check out my man, Swaggy, my bad.
The swaggiest.
But hey,
I said it.
Check him out, Atlanta Falcons, hometown, baby. We out.